Hey y'all, what's good, what's poppin'? So for today's video, I'm finally sitting down and doing a concise review on every product that I've tried from the brand Naturium. So I posted a poll on my community tab a couple weeks ago asking if y'all would be interested to see that video because personally, I've tried so many products from the brand. I definitely haven't tried every product, but I'd say I tried maybe 75 to 80% of their product lineup at this point. I feel like every time I pick up a new product from them, they're releasing something else and I'm always behind, but I've tried quite a few of their products, so I feel like I can give a pretty good overview of the brand. And the majority of you responded that you would be interested in seeing this video, so I'm finally sitting down to film it. This is going to be a long one. I think I have 25 products here that I'm going to talk about. Sit down, get a snack, whatever, get comfortable because this is going to be a long one, but we're going to really get into it today. I'm going to go through all these products, going to give my honest opinions on all of them. So if y'all are interested to see that video, that's what we're going to be doing today, so be sure to stick around till the end. Before we get into it though, I do just want to say thank you to all my new and returning subscribers out there. Thank y'all so much for sticking around, supporting my content, and helping me to grow my channel. If you are new here and you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell button as well so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video. And with that being said, let's get into it. So I did like a little notes app summary of all my thoughts on all the products just so I have some mental organization as I'm going through this. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a timestamp down in the description bar below, just letting y'all know when I talk about each product individually. That way, if you're here to just see my thoughts and opinions on a specific product, you don't have to skip through the video trying to find it. I'll go ahead and leave a timestamp for all the products individually. And in addition, I'm also going to be going through all these products in the order that they would be featured in a skincare routine. So I'm going to start with cleansers, go on to exfoliants and serums, and then moisturizers. Also, before I start talking about the products, because I really made an effort to save some product packaging to show you this. So you can shop these on their website or you can also shop them on Amazon.com. But another place where they're available currently is at Target. And specifically if you're shopping in Target in the store, one thing I want to point out is looking at some of their product packaging. So you look at the product packaging, they got the name on the front, and then we've got, you know, what it does, and then a little spark note summary of what ingredients are in here. On the back here, you've got all the text information, the ingredients, the instructions, any words of caution, and then what the product is supposed to do. But what I really appreciate about the packaging is they have here on the right side of the product, if you're looking at the front of the packaging with the label, they have all this information specifically on what the product does, what ingredients it's made with, and how specifically the ingredients work to perform their function. And I really appreciate these visuals that they give because personally I am someone that just loves looking at pictures and visuals, and it really helps me to understand things when it's explained with pictures in addition to text. So I really appreciate that about the packaging and I wanted to point that out. Also, they've got here on this side of the packaging, every product from the brand is made in the USA, cruelty-free, paraben-free, vegan, gluten-free, fragrance-free, and dermatologist tested. So with all that out the way, let's just go ahead and start and dive into these products. So like I said, the first thing I'm going to start off with is cleansers, and the first one I'm going to talk about is this Mixed Greens Nutrient Rich Cleanser. So according to the product description, this is a nutrient rich gel cleanser that contains mixed greens, vitamin C, and nourishing superfruits, and it claims to help remove oil, dirt, makeup, and other impurities while balancing the skin. So this foams really well and cleanses effectively without leaving me feeling stripped. As for the claim that this can remove makeup, I definitely would use this in tandem with an oil cleanser if you're looking to break down makeup and stuff like that. I don't think that this is powerful enough to do that on its own. I do think that this is a good follow-up in a double cleanse routine to an oil cleanser to really get rid of everything else and to have a nice, fresh, clean complexion without overly drying or stripping the skin, like I said. So in addition to the vitamin C, we've got ingredients like green tea, aloe vera, and ginseng extract that help to give the skin an antioxidant boost and help to give it a glow. Naturium also discloses a lot of information about their products that a lot of brands don't. One of those things being the pH level of their products, and I really appreciate that they disclose this information. So this cleanser has a pH in the range of 6 to 7, so it's slightly acidic, but I prefer using cleansers that are closer to a pH of 5.5 because that's more in line with the skin's natural pH. Personally, for me, this hasn't caused any issues. I don't feel like it's disrupting my barrier at all. I don't feel stripped or tight or dry after using this, but I did just want to point out that it is a little bit more alkaline than your skin's natural pH. It is still within the acidic range, but it is closer to a pH of 7 than your skin's natural pH. And out of all of the cleansers I'm going to talk about today, I think that this one is kind of the most basic cleanser, and I'm not saying that as like a jab at this product. It is a really effective cleanser. It doesn't strip or anything like that, but what I mean by that is that this is like really just a facial cleanser. It's not doing anything else for you. So this is what I would recommend if you just have, I guess, quote unquote normal skin type, you don't have any other concerns. Another cleanser that I really like that I raved about quite a few times on the channel is this Niacinamide Cleansing Jelly 3%. So this is another gel cleanser like the mixed green ones. It's supposed to help remove impurities impurities while also balancing the skin. The ingredients list is much simpler on this one. So the standout ingredient in here is 3% niacinamide, of course, as the name of the product suggests. And then there's also vitamin C, glycerin, and hyaluronic acid. This works really great as a cleanser. It emulsifies well. I love that this can actually foam up with or without water, so you can apply it to dry face and work it into the skin, and it foams up really well. And it's also really gentle. So gentle, in fact, that you can leave it on your skin for a few minutes to really allow your skin to uptake and absorb the niacinamide before you wash it off. And niacinamide specifically, I've made a whole video dedicated to this ingredient, but it's actually a really good, versatile skincare ingredient. I feel like pretty much any skin type can benefit from it in some way because it just does so much. It helps to regulate sebum production, it helps to fight hyperpigmentation, it helps improve the appearance of enlarged pores, it helps to strengthen the skin's natural lipid barrier, among other things. It's a really versatile skincare ingredient, like I said, and it's well tolerated by pretty much all skin types. So I loved using this as a cleanser, but I've also really loved using this as a mask, like I said, so my skin can absorb the niacinamide and really get some of those benefits. The pH level on this one is within the range of 5.5 to 6.5, so this is a little bit closer to your skin's natural pH, and that's another reason why I reach for this one over the mixed greens cleanser. This is such a gentle but effective cleanser. Again, I think this would be good for all skin types, but I would especially recommend this for people that have acne prone, sensitive skin, or you struggle with oily combination skin, because like I said, the niacinamide is going to really help address some of those issues. Next, we've got this fermented rice enzyme cleanser. So this is supposed to be a gentle but effective face wash that also provides a light exfoliation thanks to some included fruit enzymes and rice powder. So some ingredients in here that I like include things like glycerin, niacinamide, aloe leaf juice, squalane, and hyaluronic acid. These are all going to be nourishing on the skin and really help to provide a gentle cleansing experience. As far as exfoliants go, we've got two types of exfoliating categories in here. So we've got enzyme exfoliants like pumpkin extract, apple extract, and lactic acid that work synergistically to provide a gentle enzyme exfoliation. And then we've also got rice powder in here, which helps to buff away dead skin and help provide a very gentle physical exfoliation. This is also a very effective cleanser, but it's still very gentle. It does have a slightly gritty texture due to that rice powder, but it's a very gentle grit. It's not like a St. Ives apricot scrub. It's not going to be causing micro tears and, damaging the skin. It's still very gentle, but you do feel that gritty texture in there. With this, I definitely find that my skin is effectively cleansed, and it does feel very smooth, but again, it's never feeling tight or dry after I use this. So if you're someone that wants to incorporate some exfoliation into your routine, but you don't necessarily want to go with a harsh chemical exfoliant, I would definitely recommend checking this out. And in addition to the rice cleanser, Naturium also released this fermented Camellia creamy cleansing oil. This is the brand's first venture into an oil cleanser, and for an oil cleanser, this actually has a really unique formulation. It starts off as a really thick gel texture, but as your body heat warms it up, it melts into a rich oil. My recommendation with this, definitely work it into an oil in your palms before you apply it to your face. I made the mistake of applying it straight to my face when it was still in the gel form, and I didn't have any issues working it into an oil, but I did have to use quite a bit of force to initially melt it into an oil, and I felt like I was really tugging and pulling at my skin. So definitely don't repeat my mistake. Make sure that you break this down into an oil in your palms before you work it into your face. This formulation includes some good nourishing oils and humectant ingredients, and these all work together to provide a nice gentle cleansing experience that's also nourishing and hydrating to the skin. My skin feels really soft after using this, and it's also a really good effective oil cleanser. I was really concerned based on the texture how well it was going to perform as an oil cleanser, but it really does effectively break down makeup and other oil-based impurities, and it washes away clean, so I really appreciate that. So that was it for the cleansers. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about some exfoliants. The first one I want to highlight is this BHA liquid exfoliant 2%. So this is a 2% salicylic acid leave-on exfoliant that's supposed to help unclog pores and even out skin tone. This contains encapsulated salicylic acid, which is supposed to be time release and provide a more controlled and gentle exfoliation experience. If you've ever tried the Paula's Choice BHA liquid exfoliant 2%, this has a pretty similar vibe going on and a pretty similar feel. I would say the first couple times I tried it, my skin maybe felt a little tingly, but never felt burned or irritated, anything like that, and that feeling went away completely after a couple uses. I definitely noticed an improvement in my skin texture and a reduction in breakouts when I incorporated this into my routine. My acne is definitely a lot more under control now, so if you are someone that struggles with acne or skin texture, I would definitely recommend giving this one a try. Next, we got this PHA topical acid 12%. This is the gentlest exfoliating option from the brand that I've tried, in my opinion, unless you want to include the fermented rice cleanser as an exfoliant. So this utilizes polyhydroxy acids, or PHA, and PHAs operate similar to alpha hydroxy acids or AHAs, but due to the fact that PHAs have a larger molecule size than AHAs, they don't penetrate as deeply and they work a lot more slowly on the skin. skin, so they have a much lower risk of potential for irritation. Because they operate similarly to AHAs, you're gonna see a lot of the same benefits without the associated irritation. You'll see things like brighter, smoother skin and improvement in texture. And in addition, PHAs are also hydrating and moisturizing to the skin, and they also exhibit antioxidant properties. And this formula also includes 2 types of hyaluronic acid and glycerin in the ingredients list as well to help further nourish and moisturize the skin. So if you want to venture into chemical exfoliants but you're afraid of using an option that's too harsh, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. Like I said, out of all the options they offer, this one is the gentlest, and I personally have enjoyed using this and I've had no problems with irritation. The next exfoliating option I want to talk about is this Mandelic Topical Acid 12%. This is a little bit more intense than the PHA exfoliant leave-on, but it's still very gentle as far as exfoliants go. So Mandelic acid is technically an alpha hydroxy acid, but it has a larger molecule size than other AHAs like lactic acid or glycolic acid. So again, it's going to work a lot more slowly, it's not going to penetrate as deeply, and there's a much lower risk of potential for irritation. And just like other alpha hydroxy acids, you're going to get a lot of those same benefits. So again, brighter, smoother skin and improvement in skin texture. Mandelic acid also is moisturizing to the skin as well in the same manner as polyhydroxy acids. This formula also includes niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. If you're someone whose skin tolerates chemical exfoliants well, I definitely think that this is a good option for you, but it is also really gentle, so I still think that this would be a good option for those that have sensitive skin who are afraid to try more intense exfoliating acids like lactic or glycolic acid. I think that this is still a good, effective, but gentle choice that I like to reach for from time to time. So that was it for the exfoliants. Now we're going to move on to essences. The first of which being this hyaluronic acid essence 2%. This essence contains 3 different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, and so what those different weights of hyaluronic acid do is essentially it allows it to penetrate into different layers of the skin to draw moisture into different layers and plump it up from different layers. This also contains beta-glucans, which are a skincare ingredient that has been popular in Korean skincare for a while now, but is really just kind of starting to pick up and be included in products that Western brands have. This essence also helps to prep the skin for optimal absorption of any serums, moisturizers, and whatever subsequent skincare steps you're going to apply afterwards. This made my skin feel really soft and hydrated, and I did notice it had like a little plumpness to it, and it seemed to have a bounce as well. I definitely enjoyed using this, but as someone with oily combination skin, I definitely didn't need all the moisture. It didn't hurt, but like I said, I don't need it. It left my skin feeling moisturized, hydrated, and bouncy. So if you are someone that struggles with dry skin and you need some of that extra moisture, definitely recommend checking this one out. Next, I've got this Alpha Arbutin Essence 1%. So this is another lightweight toner that helps to hydrate the skin and prep it for subsequent skincare steps. We've got some good ingredients in here like beta-glucans, glycerin, and hyaluronic acid that act as humectants to draw moisture into the skin. And then as the name suggests, the standout ingredient in here is Alpha Arbutin at 1%, and this is included to help fight hyperpigmentation and even your overall complexion. Again, this is another great moisturizing essence, and due to the inclusion of the Alpha Arbutin, it makes it great for those who also struggle with hyperpigmentation. I definitely did notice that when I use this, my hyperpigmentation did fade a lot quicker than it would naturally. But that being said, if your main goal is to fight hyperpigmentation, I think that it's better to include a bunch of ingredients that work together synergistically to help fight hyperpigmentation instead of relying on just one ingredient to do all the heavy lifting, because hyperpigmentation is a really complicated process with a bunch of different pathways that lead to the eventual formation of dark spots. So like I said, if your main concern is fighting hyperpigmentation and achieving a more even skin tone, I think it would just be better to incorporate a bunch of different ingredients that achieve that. But this definitely is a good option that, like I said, helps to both moisturize the skin and does somewhat help to fade my dark spots a little bit quicker than they would naturally on their own. Another essence from the brand that I really enjoyed, I bought quite a few of these, is their Niacinamide Essence 3%. This is personally my favorite essence out of all the ones that I've tried from the brand. It has a similar vibe to the other essences with the same moisturizing ingredients. So we've got things like hyaluronic acid, beta-glucans, and glycerin. But what really makes this one stand out is the 3% niacinamide, which again, like I mentioned earlier, is a really versatile skincare ingredient. It really helps to address a bunch of different underlying skin issues, and I think that pretty much every skin type can benefit from this in some way. And again, just like with the niacinamide cleanser, I think that this would be a great option for those with combination oily, acne-prone skin. It really helps, like I said, to help with regulating sebum production, addressing the appearance of enlarged pores and hyperpigmentation. I really love this formula and its ability to leave my skin feeling refreshed and balanced and ready to absorb any subsequent skincare steps. Another product that I'm going to throw in here with the essences category, I actually have two. It's like the same product, but there's a slightly different ingredients list going on, and it's this niacinamide skin mist 2%. So they have a naked version, which is like a more bare bones version that has a much simpler ingredients list, and then they have this other version, which I'm just going to call the regular version. So they have some similar ingredients going on. They both have niacinamide at 2% concentration, like the name suggests. They've got aloe leaf juice and hyaluronic acid. The naked version specifically, however, has a much simpler ingredients list. It comes in at only 10 separate ingredients, and that's the version that I prefer. The regular version does have some skin loving ingredients that the naked version doesn't include. It's got some things like green tea leaf extract, cranberry extract, cucumber extract, these good skin soothing and antioxidant rich ingredients, but it also contains some ingredients that I don't like so much. Some things like fragrant compounds like limonene and linalool, and it has some fragrant oils as well that can also be problematic for sensitive skin. And the regular version also has bergamot fruit extract, which can potentially be irritating and sensitizing when exposed to UV light. So personally, I've only ever used the regular version at nighttime just to avoid that whole issue. It might be safe for use during daytime, but like I said, I just didn't really want to take that chance with it. I don't like taking chances with skincare when it comes to UV exposure, so I just went ahead and used it at nighttime and avoided that issue altogether. But all in all, I really like these, and they operate kind of similarly to the niacinamide essence as well, just that they come in a mist form. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and dive into the serums that I've tried. The first one is this niacinamide serum 12% plus zinc 2%. So if you've ever tried the niacinamide serum from The Ordinary, this has a very similar vibe going on. So this one does have a slightly higher concentration of niacinamide. I believe the one from The Ordinary only comes in at 10% and this one comes in at 12%. But what I really appreciate about this one is not that, but the fact that this actually has a much better texture. The Ordinary, I found their niacinamide serum to be very tacky. Naturium's managed to create this one, and it just is complete opposite in terms of texture. It absorbs beautifully. It doesn't have that tackiness. So this one I love infinitely more than The Ordinary. This also contains 2% zinc, which has anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial properties to really help keep the acne bacteria in check. And it's also been shown to kind of help with regulating sebum production as well. So by combining the niacinamide and the zinc, you've got a really good product for those who struggle with acne prone, sensitive skin. This is definitely a great product to supercharge your routine with niacinamide if you're not already incorporating it in other products. But the thing about niacinamide is it's still pretty effective even at lower concentrations, and a lot of times nowadays skincare products include niacinamide in them in the ingredients list already, just because it is such a beneficial, versatile skincare ingredient that's tolerated by so many different skin types. So if you are already incorporating other skincare products that include niacinamide in the ingredients list, I wouldn't necessarily recommend picking this up and including it in your routine. If you're already incorporating niacinamide into your skincare routine and other products, you just might be disappointed with your results because you're probably already getting some of the benefits from niacinamide from the other products. Next, we've got this vitamin C complex serum. This contains two types of vitamin C, a bioactive fruit blend, antioxidants like glutathione and vitamin E, and all these work together to help brighten the skin, even out the skin tone, and provide antioxidant support. Vitamin C is actually another great multifunctional skincare ingredient that performs a bunch of different functions. So like I said, it helps with providing antioxidant support to help neutralize free radicals. It helps with fighting hyperpigmentation. It boosts collagen production. Personally, I like layering this under my sunscreen to provide a secondary layer of defense against environmental stressors. And I've noticed since incorporating this into my routine, my skin does look brighter, my skin tone is a lot more even, and my skin does just have a glow to it that it didn't really seem to have before. Next, we've got this Vitamin C Super Serum Plus. So this is marketed as a vitamin C serum, but I really feel like that's not doing it justice because there's just so much going on in here. So we do have vitamin C in here in the form of ascorbic acid. We've also got retinol, hyaluronic acid, niacinamide, salicylic acid, glutathione, vitamin E. So this is a multifunctional serum. It's going to be hydrating due to things like glycerin and hyaluronic acid. The retinol in here is going to help with anti-aging, softening fine lines and wrinkles, and helping to boost collagen production. Niacinamide is in here, which again is a multifaceted skincare ingredient. It helps with things like regulating sebum production, decreasing the size of enlarged pores, helping to fight hyperpigmentation. And we even have some salicylic acid in here, which helps to exfoliate from within the pore to really help decongest and unclog pores for a smoother and clearer complexion. This is a really good serum to just help improve your complexion overall. If you're someone that has multiple skincare concerns, say you're someone who has oily skin that's struggling with adult acne, but as an adult you're also starting to deal with notice some of the signs of aging and fighting some of those, this is a great serum to incorporate into your routine that helps to address multiple skin issues and their underlying causes. Because of the inclusion of the retinol and the salicylic acid in here, I do like to only use this at night, however. Next, we've got this alpha arbutin serum 2%. So this contains 2% alpha arbutin as well as niacinamide to help address not only existing hyperpigmentation, but also to help prevent the formation of new hyperpigmentation spots from appearing. We've also got hyaluronic acid and glycerin in here, which also help to nourish and hydrate the skin. This is a little bit better at addressing hyperpigmentation than the alpha arbutin essence, just because the alpha arbutin in here is included at a higher concentration, and it's also included in conjunction with niacinamide, which is another ingredient that helps to address hyperpigmentation. I definitely noticed that my dark spots fade quicker than they normally would by incorporating this, even quicker than they would with the alpha arbutin essence. But there are other options from the brand that combine even more ingredients together that help to fight hyperpigmentation that I appreciate even more than this one. So all in all, it's not a bad serum. I enjoyed it, but it's not the most effective hyperpigmentation fighting product that I think that this brand offers, in my opinion, and my own anecdotal experience. For me personally, my favorite product from the brand for fighting hyperpigmentation is this Tranexamic topical acid 5%. So this includes a bunch of different ingredients that work together synergistically to address all the different hyperpigmentation pathways. We've got things like tranexamic acid, which is featured in the product name. We've also got kojic acid, niacinamide, and licorice root extract. We've also got some other great skin loving ingredients in here like panthenol, vitamin E, betaine, hyaluronic acid, and snow mushroom, which all work as humectants to draw moisture into the skin to help hydrate and nourish it. And this was made specifically with those with sensitive skin in mind. So if you're someone that struggles with hyperpigmentation, especially that post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, I would definitely recommend checking this product out to help fight your hyperpigmentation. Like I said, in my own anecdotal experience, this is the best product from the brand to help fight hyperpigmentation. I think it has a really good solid ingredients list. So another product that I really didn't know whether or not to include this in with the exfoliating acids or here with the serums, but I went ahead and decided to include it here in the serums, and it is this Azelaic topical acid 10%. So as the name suggests, the standout ingredient in here is azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is an ingredient that's starting to gain traction in the skincare world, and for good reason. It's another one of those multifaceted skincare ingredients that provides a lot of benefits to the skin. It's mainly recommended to those who suffer with acne because it has antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties that help to address and alleviate some of those symptoms of acne. It also helps to gently encourage skin cell turnover. It exhibits antioxidant properties, and it's even a tyrosinase inhibitor, which makes it another great ingredient to help address the formation of hyperpigmentation. Some other good ingredients included in here include things like niacinamide, vitamin C, coffee seed extract, and hyaluronic acid that all help to nourish and brighten the skin. With this, I noticed a marked improvement in my hyperpigmentation, and I've also noticed a decrease in both the severity and the frequency of my acne breakouts. I would recommend this for people that have acne prone sensitive skin. The azelaic acid is really going to help to address both the root cause of what's causing the acne as well as helping to fight the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation after your breakouts have cleared up. I've also got this azelaic acid emulsion 10%. So again, this was another product that I really didn't know where to include this. I wasn't sure whether to include this as a moisturizer or as a serum, so I'm just going to throw it in here as kind of like the transition because I honestly think it could work as both. In the directions, it does say to follow up with a moisturizer, but in all honesty, the texture of this already feels like a really lightweight moisturizer. I feel like oily skin types especially could get away with just using this as their moisturizer. So just like the topical azelaic acid, this emulsion contains both azelaic acid and niacinamide. What this one includes that the topical acid doesn't is a bunch of skin soothing ingredients. We've got things like cottonseed oil, oat kernel extract, and allantoin. All these are really great skin soothers, and I noticed when I applied this, if I had any underlying redness and I applied this to the skin, let it absorb, within a few minutes, the redness within my skin was greatly alleviated within just minutes of this absorbing in. So I would recommend this for those with sensitive acne prone skin that suffer with redness. This is also a really great product for those who suffer with rosacea. So now I'm ready to talk about moisturizers, the first of which is this niacinamide gel cream 5%. So out of all the moisturizers from the brand that I've tried, this one is the most lightweight. This is a really good moisturizer for those with oily skin types. I like to use this one especially as my summertime moisturizer during the day. So the niacinamide in here makes this a really good choice for those with oily skin because of the sebum regulating and pore size reducing properties that niacinamide exhibits. Some other ingredients in here that I love include things like coconut fruit juice, which, side note, is very different from coconut oil. Does not have the same comedogenic concerns as coconut oil. So the coconut fruit juice and hyaluronic acid in here act as humectants to add a little bit of hydration. And we've also got some dimethicone in here, which gives the skin a poreless appearance and serves as an inclusive ingredient to help seal everything in underneath. Like I said, great moisturizer for those who have oily combination skin that want something really lightweight. And due to the texture of this one as well, it makes it great as a primer for makeup. It does feel a little tacky upon initial application, but once it's fully absorbed into the skin, I find that tacky feeling goes away. So I like to use this as a nice lightweight moisturizer for daily use. Now this Marine Hyaluronic Water Cream, this is a little bit more intense than the Niacinamide Gel Cream. So we've got some marine derived polysaccharides in here that help to reinforce and enhance the skin's own natural moisture barrier. We've also got hyaluronic acid, glycerin, and that coconut fruit juice again, which is going to help to hydrate and nourish the skin. Again, this one also contains a high amount of dimethicone, just like the Niacinamide Gel Cream. The texture of this is a little bit closer to a cream than like a gel cream. It smooths over the skin really well, and just like the Niacinamide Gel Cream, I think that this one makes a great base for makeup as well due to the dimethicone in here. It moisturizes really well without being too rich. I think that this would be a good moisturizer for pretty much every skin type except for those who maybe need something really rich and intense. But for people that just have like normal skin or even oily skin that want something a little bit more hydrating but not something too over the top, I think that this is a good option. Next we got this Plant Ceramide Rich Moisture Cream. This is definitely the richest moisturizing option from the brand that I tried. For me personally, it's so intense that I really only use it as a night cream, and I tend to use it more frequently during the fall, winter months when it's drier. My skin is a little bit more susceptible to being dehydrated even though it is oily. Those are the times when I tend to reach for this. But I feel like if you have really dry skin, if you really need that moisture, you will appreciate this formula. It is really rich and moisturizing. The ingredients list features things like essential fatty acids, ceramide precursors, and plant-derived phospholipids that help to mimic and restore the skin's natural lipid barrier. And then some other good moisturizing ingredients include things like glycerin, squalane, and hyaluronic acid. It has a really thick texture, but it does work into the skin really well. It doesn't leave behind a greasy or heavy feeling, even though it is a very rich moisturizer, and it still absorbs very easily and effortlessly into the skin. Like I said, for me personally, someone with oily combination skin, it is a little rich for me. I don't use it as a day cream, but I do like using it as a night cream. Or another way I like to use this as well, if I do a more intense exfoliating treatment, I like to go ahead and throw this on top after an exfoliating treatment to kind of help strengthen and reinforce my skin's barrier. And then the last moisturizer I'm going to talk about is this Multi-Peptide moisturizer. They deviated from the jar packaging that they use in the other moisturizers, but I actually appreciate that this is airtight, and also because it comes in a pump and you're not sticking your finger in a jar, it's also more hygienic that way. This is somewhere between the Marine Hyaluronic Cream and the Plant Ceramide Cream in terms of moisturization. It's not super lightweight, but it's also not too rich. I believe when Susan Yara was talking about this, she described it as being like the Goldilocks of moisturizers. My oily combo skin personally loves this moisturizer. We've got a multi-peptide blend and vitamin C in here that help to boost collagen production for smoother, more plump skin while also providing antioxidant benefits. Some other good moisturizing ingredients in here include things like glycerin, jojoba seed oil, and hyaluronic acid. And again, this also includes niacinamide, which is a multifaceted skincare ingredient that performs so many good functions for the skin. Texture wise, not super rich, not as rich as the Plant Ceramide Cream, but still a little bit more moisturizing than the Marine Hyaluronic Cream. That being said, my oily combination skin still really appreciated this, and it wasn't too rich. I still could use this both as a nighttime and a daytime moisturizer. I would recommend this specifically for those who are looking for anti-aging skincare ingredients because of the included vitamin C and the peptides, which are going to help to boost that collagen production. I definitely did feel like my skin felt a little bit more plump and smooth when I used this compared to some of the other moisturizers from the brand. And then lastly, to finish off the video, I do have two face oils from the brand that I tried that I want to mention real quick. So the first one is this vitamin C face oil. This contains a form of vitamin C known as tetrahexadecyl ascorbate. This is an oil soluble form of vitamin C that's stable, which I really appreciate because not all forms of vitamin C are stable, which kind of limits the shelf life of vitamin C products. And its oil soluble nature means it's able to more easily penetrate the skin's natural lipid barrier to really absorb deeper into the skin and really work from within the skin. This form of vitamin C is not as well researched as ascorbic acid, but the studies that have been done are promising, and upon absorption, studies have shown that it does have the ability to convert to ascorbic acid, which is the active form of vitamin C that produces all of its associated benefits. As for the base of this oil, we've got some really good fatty acid rich oils that make up the bulk of the formulation. We've got things like sunflower oil, avocado oil, meadow foam seed oil, and these all help to restore the skin's natural lipid barrier. We've also got squalane in here, which is a skin identical lipid that's really rich and nourishing for the skin. In my own anecdotal experience with this, I did notice brighter and smoother skin. It didn't break me out. It absorbed quickly into the skin and didn't leave me feeling greasy. So all those things I appreciate appreciate. I really liked using this as the final step in my skincare routine at night as an inclusive ingredient to kind of help seal everything in. And then the last product I have here to talk about with y'all today is this Retinoid face oil. And the standout ingredient in here is not actually retinol, but a retinoid derivative known as hydroxypinacolone retinoate. So unlike retinol, which needs to go through a two-step conversion, first from retinol to retinaldehyde, and then from retinaldehyde to retinoic acid, this derivative is actually analogous to retinoic acid, so it's able to actually work immediately on the skin for more short-term results like a prescription retinoic acid would, but it's able to actually do all this without the associated irritation that comes with incorporating retinols into your routine. It's got the same base as the vitamin C oil with those fatty acid rich oils as well as the squalane. Now I do want to say personally in my experience with this, I didn't really notice a huge difference in the appearance and texture of my skin, and I think that might just be because I don't necessarily have a lot of wrinkles and fine lines to worry about right now as is, so I don't really think there was much of an improvement to be seen in that regard to begin with. I will say though that with this I did surprisingly see a reduction in my breakouts. It did help to improve my skin texture in that regard, and that also is a benefit of retinol, so I'm not surprised that I saw that benefit from this. I really appreciate this product, and while I didn't necessarily see any improvements in things like fine lines or wrinkles, I definitely would like to incorporate this into my skincare routine maybe as the years go on and I start to struggle with that. Alright y'all, well that's it for my video today. That is my overview of the Naturium brand and every product I've tried from the brand so far and my honest thoughts on them. Like I said, I did a poll asking if y'all would be interested in this video, and the majority of you were, so it took me a minute to get to it, but I finally did, and I'm glad I did. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as well. If you did, be sure to go ahead and leave a thumbs up down below. Let me know down in the comments what you liked about this video, what you disliked. Let me know if you've tried any products from the brand yourself and what you thought. Let me know if you're interested in trying any products out after seeing this video. Like I said, if you haven't already, be sure to go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell button as well so I can get a notification every time I upload a new video. And with that being said, I should be back shortly with new content. Bye.